Of course, I'm not pronouncing it properly, but Helen, is that right?
It's perfect. It's
Perfect.
perfect.
So thank you very much for coming in, although you should have been participating in other events which you have not got time for. That definitely
Yeah.
hasn't happened. But but today, what I'm going to put up there is what are we doing today so that we can at least take you through the activities and what it is about. So basically, information is available on mediatorvikram.com. So this is what we're doing today. Launch of the Canada Mediation Circle, which is circle number 41 of the World Mediation Circle. So World Mediation Circle being a largest circle, and it's like I call it a worldwide web of mediation circles. So I'll take you through the various mediation circles which have been launched, so you'll understand why I say a web. So on the website you find information about how to connect and everything. But little brief, I put a little brief on the World Mediation Circle here. So a worldwide web of mediation circles, a little definition of mediation. And I took this from the Singapore Convention because why I thought, okay, there is a definition today, but is it complete? So for me, it doesn't have voluntary, informal, and trusted person as part of that definition. And for me, mediation has to have these three elements. So that's the mediation that I want to promote. Of course, you've been part of the court system, so I mean, I do criticize that the court system maybe hasn't been the best thing for mediation because again, these three things were missing from there most of the time, at least in the initial process, putting people into the process. So yeah. So idea is, Helen, is to bring a moral values, principles, and ethics-based humanistic approach to dispute resolution, where heart, soul, spirituality play an important role. This is going to be my way of looking at mediation. And I've always said that mediation is like the blind man and the elephant. Everyone has their way of looking at it. This is my my way of looking at it. So of course, attempting to heal and strengthen relationships. But what I'm doing is look, one is you resolving personal disputes, but also this is like creating a community of people who believe one, yes, we should resolve disputes, conflicts, fights, whatever in an amicable manner, but also collaborate and a space which moves away from debates, activism, and advocacy. So a space where people can come together, you are looking at consensus building, you are looking at objective discussions. Because for me, I feel that that space is not created because it doesn't serve anyone's purpose. Why should you create a space where everyone comes together and has a good conversation, has a good dialogue? Divide and rule is the policy that the colonizer gave us. So finally, on the long-term basis, redefine politics at the local, national, and global level by moving from the colonial legacy of divide and rule to consensus building with mediators as leaders. So, mediation circles being created in schools, colleges, organizations, communities, issue based also. And I have three categories of people there. One is the mediators, which are people with the mediator mindset. So, no training, certification, qualification required. You just have to have the mindset. The peacemakers who have the skill to bring people together. So that's the way of life for them also. And participants who are people who have the mindset, which I call the mediation mindset, that we should sit together, resolve issues, and collaborate. So that's the kind of way. There's a link on on the website to put your details there. So lots of circles have been launched. So on the website you find the information date wise in every year, in this year at least, what's been happening. So date wise, and then you have one section on the various mediation circles which have been launched and what are coming up. So that's like 41 of them. So that's the basic thought, Helen. Initial thoughts of yours, then I'll take you, or maybe I should take you through the mediation circles which have been launched. Then I'll get your perspective. That I think will be better. So you understand that how that web works and how I mean, I'm looking at the, okay, so let me just put this up. A little slide show. So World Mediation Circle being the largest circle, all these circles are part of that. Then country wise, so like the India Mediation Circle. Then we have circles like this, the World Indigenous Peoples Mediation Circle. So we'll have a Canada Indigenous Peoples Mediation Circle. So that's a lot of work, various kinds of activity, which we can discuss as to each of the circles, what they'll do. Then you have the International Reflective Practice Circle. Similarly, we'll have for every country, we'll have a reflective practice circle within every circle, we'll have a reflective practice circle, because people should at least come together, talk about their experiences, learn from each other. So that'll happen. Then we have the International Commercial Mediation Circle. Wherever it's international, there'll also be, every country will have that. So people who work in that area will come together under that circle. Then we have the UN Sustainable Development Goals. So a circle for all to achieve the goals. The goal number 17 talks about collaboration, and mediators and mediation definitely have an important role to play wherever there's collaboration. So the larger circle, then for each of the goals, I'm creating circles. So goal number 5 is gender equality. So there is a gender equality mediation circle which was launched. Then we have the World Refugee Mediation Circle, every country, because this is an issue in a lot of countries, movement of refugees into countries, their integration into society. So that part of it also. Then the Organizational Mediation Circle, creating finally having a mediator in every organization, plus also building capacity within organizations of the people with the mediator mindset and the peacemaker mindset. The International Family Mediation Circle. So finally, Helen, the idea is every family should have a mediator and a mediation circle. That's the long-term thing. This is a game that Massimiliano created for people to experience conflict resolution. So that's one. Then we have the global school and college mediation circles. Then we have the environmental, climate change, natural disaster, sustainability mediation circles, which we bring, then we create down at the local level. So every school has a mediation circle. As part of that, they can have a climate change mediation circle also, people who want to work in that area. So that. And then we have issue based. So I did create one, Israel Palestine. Similarly, any other issue that people want to create a circle for, this is what the safe space was supposed to be, to have a space for people to at least talk about all the different points of view without any vested interests. Just have a objective conversation. You have unmuted yourself, so I assume you're going to say something.
No, I thought I not before you're finished. I'm
okay,
sorry,
perfect,
because I'm with my
no,
iPhone. I'm sorry.
No, yeah. Perfect. Keep it unmuted. You come in anytime.
Okay.
Then we have okay. So various countries. So Barbados. This is a college, and this is how you'll see the web. So this is the university which has created it. It's part of the Global College Mediation Circle, which is part of the India Mediation Circle, which is part of the World Mediation Circle. So that's why it's a web of mediation circles. Then Artificial Intelligence Mediation Circle. So the artificial intelligence definitely has an important role to play in relation to mediation also, because I mean, this is that criticism that I keep doing of the training and making mediators in 40 hours. That, of course, I feel is devaluing mediators and in a way demeaning them. But if you feel you can program people to become mediators in 40 hours, you're better off than using artificial intelligence. So everyone in the world has access to a mediator today without anything. They just have to go to ChatGPT or Copilot or whatever and ask it to be your mediator. And various other things in relation to mediation can happen. But in the long run, looking at a conflict resolution platform in artificial intelligence, where we can actually put in all the content in relation to conflict resolution, plus also mediators recording their mediations, and give a summary maybe, and putting that in so that it has enough of a database to pick up information from, because mediations are happening in closed spaces. So how does artificial intelligence learn? So this is one way of doing that. And then we have after the launches, we have gatherings of circles. So the World Mediation Circle gathering happened. The next one is coming on 24th of April at that's 8:30 India time. So I think that'll be 11 o'clock Montreal time. Then we have a country wise. So Turkey, this is a book. Okay. So Ecuador, this is a community that I live in. So again, I'm showing you the web, the community mediation circle, part of all these. And then we have country wise. Yeah, after that, I think basically country wise. So this is Greece, France, Ireland, Kazakhstan, okay, Ecuador, Greece again, Italy, Australia, the international reflective. Yeah. So now Peru, Pakistan. This is what I was saying. This was it's goal number 5, which is global. This is gender equality. So global gender equality mediation circle. Poland, Mexico, Zambia. These people work in the area of climate change. So maybe initially they will work in that area, create the mediation circle there. Then Benin, and Brazil, Australia, Romania. Ecuador, Spain, Canada, this one's happening. Then we have the USA one coming up. And then we have the gathering of the World Mediation Circle. So I'm done, Helen. Now it's your thoughts.
Well, I'm happy to be here and to participate in your meeting for today. It's quite interesting, all that you've been doing over the last few years. I remember speaking with you a few years ago, and you've developed quite a bit your different sectors of groups, and it's all to your credit, because I don't know when you sleep. Knowing that there's 24 hours a day, I think it's pretty impressive what you've put together here, Vikram. I'm wondering if, because I see that one of the objectives of the mission of your mediation worldwide centers is also to influence policy making in different countries. And in that aspect, are there special projects that you have put together or that the participants wish to work with? Or are there affiliations with government bodies or other entities that are involved in mediation in the various countries?
These people who are creating these circles and be a part of circles are going to be taking that up in each circle. So that's happening at that level. So whenever that gathering happens, those conversations will happen there. So same thing with Canada when we have the gathering. Because look, thing is that initial one is planting the seed. So first thing is getting the right people, because for me, it's never been about numbers. It's about the right people, because when you're putting out the right people, you're putting out the right face for mediation and mediators, because the world doesn't really have those faces. We know in the mediation world, and we have lots of these conversations and events. I've done more than 700 videos today on my channel. But the point is, down at the grassroots level, if you say mediation or you say mediator, does a face come up in front of someone? So first thing is put the right face, because for me, I feel although countries will say that mediation's been something which is happening here for years on an organized level, but when you go down to the grassroots level, if you say mediator, nothing comes to them. Say mediation, they don't even know what you're talking about. So I think the mediation world is very disconnected from the grassroots issues. So first thing is, what I'm telling people is just send out a message into schools, colleges, organizations, families, communities, that who are those people who help people resolve their fights, disagreements, misunderstandings. Don't even have to use technical words like conflicts and disputes. Maybe that's too technical for them. So a simple question, let's get those names. Let's get those people first into the circle, because every community knows those people. I mean, I'm saying yes, over time, communities themselves have broken down. So I'm not going to say that we still really have a community at certain places, but a school, a college, an organization is definitely a community. So there, at least they're coming together. They will tell us about those people. When those names come out, those everyone, when they know about those people, they understand, yes, this person is special. They do. But what they do is never even discussed, because it happens as a way of life for them. They're doing it under closed doors with their friends. So now what you're doing is first bring that what is happening within those closed doors, bring it out, talk about it, value these people to start with. Okay, this person did this, what did the person do? When they talk about it, they'll tell us everything about mediation without using the word mediation. So it's all happening. It's not a rocket science. It is human interaction. It's going to happen on a daily basis with people. It's just that it doesn't get highlighted. So first, let's highlight it at the school, college, organization, community level. Bring those faces out. Let people connect with the process with the right people. That is for me the most important part. So, and the kind of mediation that I'm talking about, I'm not, look, that whole, there is definitely going to be settlement conferences which will take place, and I'm sure they have some purpose to serve. I'm not going to get into that, but the way I'm looking at it as developing from the grassroots level is the right people who they bring in their heart, their soul into it, and of course, it's their spiritual development and bringing people.
It's interesting. In Quebec, I can share with you that there's an organization called Pacifique, Institut Pacifique. And when I was setting up and directing the mediation clinic at the law faculty at the University of Montreal, a lot of the faculty students had been in grade school influenced by the program that Institut Pacific implemented in the grade schools, in the public schools. So in fact, it reflects a little bit the vision that you have, where they would every day, every week, speak to the children about mediation tools and how to have conversation, non-aggressive conversation. And they would identify, I think every month or every week, with a colored t-shirt, one of the students per classroom who would act as mediator in the classroom and in the recreation outside the classroom. And these students learned tools. And a lot of these students were law students that I found were interested in the clinic, in the mediation clinic. And so I totally agree with you. It has to start in the ground roots. It has to start in the schools. And it has to be intricately involved in all sorts of aspects of the society. And then we will have a much better human world where people are kind to each other when they talk, and they try to actively listen and not have paradigms, and are interested in knowing what the objective, and using principled negotiation elements where you not personalize the conflict, but you try and find an added value to the situation, and try and come to not compromises, but to a better negotiated idea when you work, whatever it is, whether it's going to the theater, whether it's choosing a restaurant, or, organizing an event with other people in the workplace or not, business transactions, in all sorts of fields, successions. So I totally agree with the concept that you're putting together. It's a very interesting one. It's a very healthy one. And I see that some of the faces that we know in different countries participate in some of your presentations. So it's always very healthy and pleasant to hear people discuss on all these topics. So congratulations.
Thank you very much. The only thing, I don't know about how that institute works, but for me, the way I have looked at it is that we are not coming into your school to teach you anything. We are saying that there are people who already are doing it, they have the skill, and first let them talk about their experiences, people who benefited from them, let them talk about their experiences. So you're not, this is not a theoretical concept that we are coming to tell you. This is practically happening right in front of you. I mean, not in front of you as in that you sit into it, but it's happening around you with people doing it. So it's
But there's still tools. I agree with you, but there's tools you need to teach people. You need to put words to things that you do so people understand what they're doing, and then they can use it properly in other circumstances and transmit the knowledge. Because when you put words to things that you do, it helps share. And for children in grade school, it's a great way, because a lot of people have intuitively the tools. They don't know what they're doing exactly as you mentioned it, but to be able to put words to it and concepts is helpful to share and broaden the usage of these concepts.
Yeah, because the way I've tried to put it out there is that hi Meltem. Meltem, do you know Helen?
I'm sorry?
Do you know Meltem? Does Meltem know you?
Hi. No, not yet.
Okay.
It's nice to meet you.
Okay, so what happens hasn't happened, Helen, is you haven't introduced yourself. You introduce yourself. She'll also get to know you, and people who are listening also will get to know you, and then she'll tell us about herself. So please.
Okay, Helen. So my name is Hélène de Kovacic. I'm a lawyer. I started practicing tax law in '86 at the government, and then in a private practice in a big law firm in Montreal called Stikeman Elliott, and then got interested in mediation and set up a mediation center in '94 in Quebec. It was a co-mediation, multidisciplinary services that we offered. I was involved in participating in putting together settlement conferences in Quebec, teaching judges, but also the lawyers in Quebec who wanted to be mediators. I put up a lot of training for them. I was able to do mediation on an international level, which permitted me to discover the different cultures and understand how to adapt different techniques and strategies to adapt so that everybody is happy with what we're doing. I was president of the Tribunal Administratif du Québec and implemented mediation settlement processes that were very helpful for citizens, whether they were represented by lawyers or they went by themselves in front of the courts. And I am now back in private practice since I retired from the tribunal 2 years ago. And I've published, I've done conferences, and I am back doing mediation and in specific field of shareholders disputes, transfer of properties, companies, successions, and commercial. So mainly, that's what I'm doing now.
Yeah, but Meltem,
And
I'm saying, but don't get fooled.
in my free time, and in my spare time, I have a non-for-profit that offer free services to children who are on the autism circle. So voilà, spectrum, I should say. Voilà.
What
So
I'm just I'm telling Meltem that don't get fooled by the word retired. When she said retired, I also thought she's going to retire. I found out that retirement means she's picked up so much to do. So
mediation is a passion. I love being able to be there for people. So.
But I thought you're going to then help me create and take forward all this mediation circle and in Canon and all. But I think now the way I look at it, you're going to get limited time. So that's I was really looking forward to your retirement, but it doesn't seem to have happened. Yeah. Yes,
I'm
Meltem.
looking forward to hear from you.
Yes, Meltem, please tell us about yourself.
Helen, very nice meeting you. I'm in Montreal as well. My background is totally different, not mediation, but my background is international business. I have a management degree, but 5 years ago, I fell in love with peace studies and conflict resolution, thanks to Ken Klock. So I have been his follower and his student. I got my training through him. And combining my management background, I have been offering training services for organizations, and they are all related to preventative conflict resolution skill sets for leaders, and collaborative teamwork, improved communication skills. As I understand intimately what companies are going through, conflict is very present in every organization. So if any way I can humanize the way that they work and improve their, relationships so they can authentically show as themselves in workplaces. So that's my goal. And other than that, I have been working on getting more experience in mediation. Eventually and ideally, I would love to do more mediation work in the future. But right now, it's all about coaching, one-on-one coaching. It is mediation. It is, as Ken says, it's so nicely, conflict resolution coaching. So I do give that one-on-one time to people as well to improve their relationship with conflict.
No, but she's also, but let me also tell you, Helen, it's not just one-on-one coaching for helping people in terms of resolution. She was so nice to tell me that why don't you look at some way of monetizing or get something going there, because you're doing all this work and you don't get anything out of it. So she was really nice. Give me that time. I'm working on it, Meltem. We will definitely, I need to, I need more one-on-one time with you.
It is my entrepreneurship background because I have been an entrepreneur most of my life as well. So Vikram, that's the minute that someone talks about their business, I think from an entrepreneurial perspective as much as from a conflict resolution perspective. So
I need more time. I need time with you again. Now I thought about it after what you told me.
Anytime. Yeah. It will be my pleasure.
Yes, but Helen
it's lovely to meet you that you're in Montreal and I'm in Montreal also. So it would be nice to get together.
I would love to go for a walk.
Me too. No, seriously, my office is downtown. So it would be perfect. What is the name of your firm?
Very simple, Meltem K. I use my own name. It's a very boutique style consulting.
Okay.
I'm going to be actually adding you on LinkedIn, Helen. Did I say
Okay,
your
perfect.
right? Yeah.
Do that. Hélène Kovacic, I'm with Groupe Option Médiation, the same firm that I founded in '94. I've done over 1,000 files in the last 30 years as
Oh
a
my
mediator.
gosh, you are like a dream come true for me. I can
So
get
it'll be a
myself.
pleasure to share with you different
Okay,
experiences.
I would love to.
No, but let me tell you now, Helen, what happened with Meltem was I told her, Meltem, we have to launch the Canada Mediation Circle. She said, look, I am looking at global. I'm not looking at the whole aspect of Canada one. And now see, Meltem, the advantage of Canada, now you're meeting someone who's next door because we have to
It's
create these
wonderful.
communities. The communities is what we need to create. So Canada is a community. Then we get into a Montreal mediation circle.
And
That's
there's a beautiful mediation community and people who are lawyers, who are not lawyers. There's the Institut de Médiation d'Arbitrage du Québec. There's a lot of group of people who are involved at different levels as volunteers, as people who earn a living. Also, there's so many wide and varied ways of sharing the tools of mediation to make our society stronger, healthier, and wiser. So it'll be a lovely pleasure to meet you.
okay.
I'm going to have to go because I had scheduled from 12 to 12:30, I believe, and so I'm going to have to go. But Vikram, thank you so much. I'm very pleased that you started this, and I'm looking forward to seeing you. A new friend in Montreal.
Yes, you know what you have to do is you have to first of all invite people into the circle, and we are going to meet on if Friday is okay with you, then every second Friday of the month. So that's if the Friday is a good day for you people, or you want to change the day.
It can be not always, but it doesn't matter. I mean, it doesn't. We can talk about it on LinkedIn.
Why I like to put it on record is because someone else listening to it will know that we meet every second Wednesday of the. Let's start with this second Wednesday. It's the second Friday of the month, but at 11 o'clock Montreal time.
Start with that.
11 o'clock. 11 o'clock Montreal time. Okay, not at 12 because
Perfect. 12. Excellent.
Okay, so 10th of May. We see you on the 10th of May, and please invite other people. And thank you very much for coming in. It was really nice. And Meltem was also happy that she's met you. So nice.
Likewise. Thank you. Have a great weekend, everybody.
Thank you. You too. Bye.
Bye-bye.
So this is what Meltem happens is that's why you have to this community aspect, which I kept saying that look, we have to actually the mediators will have a role to create communities also. So this is a community we'll have to make. So down to, I'm telling you, at Montreal itself, a mediation circle can be created. And then we work into schools in Montreal and then other places like that.
You have nice dreams and nice visions. So you are pulling the community together. So thank you.
That's the whole idea, because I just feel that if good people come together, good things will happen. What happens, how it goes, we also won't know.
True. It's all about community. Very true.
Yeah, it's about the right people. That's the most important thing. For me, it's never going to be numbers. It's going to be good people who have, of course, they also want to, in some way, they have that vision, the shared vision that we might have, then that's, of course, important. But they have to start with, that's what I've been telling people now. The first thing for qualification to be part of the circle is you have to be a good human being. That's the starting point. Everything else, whether you're a...
I thought as mediators, we don't have judgments, Vikram.
I'm judging. I'm judging on this.
Or bad?
I'm judging on this. I'm very clear about it. Look, everyone else will come in whenever they get that kind of thing. Look, everyone doesn't have the same mindset. And
the ice cream comes in 30 different flavors. Whatever is people are attracted to, it's all good.
Okay. But tell me something, Mehta. Have you had a look at the various mediation circles which have been created? Have you had some time to go through?
No, unfortunately, I didn't. And I only joined this one because I promised you. It was super kind of you to email me. And I'm jumping from one meeting to another, but I wanted to say hi and I wanted to say thank you for creating a Canadian one. And as a Canadian face, I wanted to come and say hi.
Oh, thank you very much for coming. And there is lots of work that we need to do. This is just a launch. So it's just a seed that we are planting and we have to get people in. But how are we getting? First of all, look, I need to take you through the various mediation circles which have been launched so that at least because it's not just about location, it's also about issues. So that part, there is also about schools, it's about colleges, of course, communities. So I did take Helen through that, but I'll have to take you through it because chances are with your busy schedule, you're not going to find time to go through the website. Is it good like that?
No, actually, I would love to go through a website myself if you
Okay.
don't
Well,
mind.
yeah, you'd have a look at the website. What I'm taking you through as quickly is the various mediation circles. So one is the larger World Mediation Circle, which all of them are part of. Then you have country-wise, so India. Then we have like the World Indigenous Peoples Mediation Circle. So we'll have a Canada Indigenous Peoples Mediation Circle. So
Oh,
just
I have seen these ones, Vikram.
okay,
These
perfect.
ones I'm very familiar with. Yes.
Perfect. So
Yeah.
now what we need to do is at each of those areas, whoever you feel could be, of course, good people to be part of it, yes. But then in specific areas also, we still have to start creating those circles. So like I said, the Canada Indigenous Peoples Mediation Circle, Canada Family Mediation Circle, Commercial Mediation Circle, we have to also start looking at that. So please identify people you think who should be part of the larger circle, but also specific because how do we reach schools? For me, reaching schools and communities, I'm looking at school teachers to be and should play an important role. That's the way I look at it. So
Mhm.
if we can get them into the circle, and out of them, of course, the ones who have that mindset. So, like I said, it's not going to be all inclusive. You might not think nicely about that, but for me, it's not the entire community. It's the people who have that mindset coming together at the initial stages. But as we go along, people who experience
Yeah,
this and they,
like everything else, I believe the right people, when the student appears, teacher appears, and vice versa. And in the circumstances, I have no doubt that you will attract the people who are interested in this. So, um, and
so
yeah, it seems like it's a very rich community that you are building. So, all the best.
thank you very much, and you are part of it. You're part of it, and we meet. At least look. The World Mediation Circle meets on every last Wednesday of the month. So, but that said, again, 11 o'clock, 11 a.m. Montreal time,
Yeah.
8:30 India time. So please,
It's
24th of
because of
April.
a independent business. I don't know other mediators. It's hard to lock in a date because whenever a client or a project comes in, it's impossible to, as an independent consultant, it's very hard to set a time. But if I'm available, obviously I will make the effort
Yeah.
and
So just put it
I
in
will
your
be
calendar that
present. Yeah.
last Wednesday of the month, 8:30 India time, that's 11 a.m. Montreal time. And then Canada one, we're going to be on the second Friday of the month at 8:30 India time, 11 a.m. Montreal time. But what I will do is, considering what you just said, what I could do is maybe just on certain days of the month, just keep it open. So on this day, anyone can come in and we can then do that. So maybe that flexibility also needs to be given so that everyone gets a chance to at least meet everyone. I'll do
Yeah.
that. I'll fix something
Wonderful.
up there. But
Perfect. Vikram, thank you so much. Nice seeing you. I'm in between meetings. As I said, I just came to say hi. I'm gonna jump and go to my other call, but have a
perfect.
wonderful weekend.
Thank you very much for coming, and you have to give
Thank
me
you.
my one-on-one time again. I need that whenever
Yeah,
you have.
anytime that reach out to me, and it will be my pleasure.
I've just reached out. I'll send a message also. Reached
Okay,
out,
perfect.
Meltem. Please give me a time.
Sounds great. Sounds great.
Thank you very much, Meltem.
Bye,
And
Vikram.
bye. See you. I'll also close this. So 10th of May at 8:30 India time, 11 a.m. Montreal time. We